The Shan Hills of Burma, a lawless country in a land known as the Golden Triangle. In these valleys, an army is on the move, and they want the world to play their tune. The Shan people have been described as beggars sleeping on a bed of gold. For their land is rich in minerals. But today, the gold comes from the cultivation of the poppy. From the poppy comes opium. And from opium comes heroin. From these fields, and thousands like them, 2,000 tons of opium are now being released onto the world market. When refined, this, the largest ever crop, will make 200 tons of heroin, enough to supply the world for 5 years and create a new generation of drug addicts. Most of this lethal harvest is controlled by one man. His message to the world: make me an offer. A rebel army inside Burma, one of 12 armies fighting the Burmese socialist government. But this army is different. What happens here affects the world. They're commanded by a man described as the biggest heroin trafficker at large today. He is Chan Shi Fu. He prefers to be known as Kun Sa, in English, Prince of Prosperity. He commutes to work daily with armed bodyguards. Thailand, Burma and the United States have all put a price on his head, but he's the most unsought of wanted men. He claims he's fighting a war to liberate the Shan people. America calls him a criminal. Criminal or freedom fighter, Kun Sa is accused of holding the world to ransom. He's established his headquarters at Homong, the gateway to the Golden Triangle, where Burma joins Thailand and Laos. His aim, to control the richest heroin border in the world. At his base, he makes no secret of his plan.
If we are able to conquer the border, we can control all thieves and robbers. We can stop all the fighting in both countries, and I can control 80% of the heroin trade.
This army is trained to defend drug routes and heroin refineries. But Kun Sa says if his rebel state is recognized, he'll abandon the opium trade for good.
I'm a politician. I wish to drive out those who think our homes in our suffering countries should be burned. My first aim is to get the same rights for my countrymen as the rest of the world. If I can do this, I will make my 8 million people happy. But for the world to be happy, I also want to stop opium.
The no-man's land between Thailand and Kun Sa's camp is hostile country. Foreign journalists found in these hills face summary arrest by Thai border police. A pact between Burma and Thailand serves to conceal what really happens here. So, after secret meetings with Shan soldiers, we crossed the closed border to keep our appointment with the general. After an arduous journey and being guided through a minefield, we arrived at Kun Sa's camp in time for a dawn parade. Kun Sa's politics of opium. The soldiers are inspired with nationalistic fervour against their traditional enemies, the Burmese, whom the Shan have been fighting for 30 years. Every morning they chant their freedom song. But for now, their hostility is steered towards another enemy, the American Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA.
The DEA, myself, and the people of the world want to see the end of opium. But you shouldn't tell lies and messes about. Instead, if you come and really work to make opium disappear, then it would not be so difficult.
It's a bizarre campaign. Soldiers taught to distrust the DEA settle down to watch All-American Heroes on video. And KHUN Sar's dealers move freely enough in Thailand despite the DEA's large army of agents. Hiring Rambo movies is one of KHUN Sar's simpler transactions for his young recruits. These young boys are the General's Youth Brigade. They're told their General offers to sell his opium to the Americans every year, but America refuses to listen. While no government will negotiate with him, KHUN Sar is allowing his drugs to go to crime syndicates in Hong Kong and America. He claims he has 20,000 soldiers, but many are children. This boy, Sai Shui, is something of a veteran. He's been here 2 years already. He's now only 10 years old. He comes from an opium-growing family and wants to be an officer. Maybe he will by the time his shoes fit. The General's flag mocks the Thai government, which 7 years ago boasted to the world that they had smashed his movement. Today, KHUN Sar is calling his first summit meeting. Up to 1,000 village chiefs and religious leaders have been invited from throughout the Shan state. KHUN Sar woos his people with a combination of rich hospitality and a promise of political freedom. The date of the meeting is carefully chosen, Shan Independence Day, the independence promised by the British in 1947, but never since granted. Each delegate has been paid £25 to attend, with food and lodging for a month. That's in an economy where incomes average £100 a year. Amid the hospitality, some delegates at least will be suspicious of KHUN Sar's commitment to the Shan cause. The General is half Chinese. In earlier days, he fought with the Burmese against the Shan. Generous supplies of Shan whiskey may not erase that memory. Today, however, the General plays a trump card. Korn Jern, Mr. Thunderclap, is the rebel president and KHUN Sar's political boss. He's widely respected by the Shan people and openly admits he's an opium dealer. He's brought his own private army to join with KHUN Sar. KHUN Sar refers to Korn Jern as his noble uncle, a man who has brought money and political clout, not to mention credibility, to the Shan cause. If KHUN leads as well as he sings, says KHUN Sa, independence is certain.